Hello, Seiiti Arata. Have you ever heard that it takes 21 days to create a habit? Well, I'm sorry to say that this information has no scientific basis. Forming habits can certainly change your life, and that is true. Habits allow us to do things on autopilot. By forming the right habits, you can transform your body, you can learn a language, you can raise money, or achieve any other goal that requires consistency. But this also means that bad habits can get in your way. Eating ultra processed foods or staying on social media instead of studying, spending more than you earn. These are examples of harmful behaviors when they become repetitive. It is important then that you form habits intelligently, habits that get you closer to becoming the person that you want to be. Now, do you know how long it takes to create a habit? The story of creating a habit in 21 days is nothing more than a myth without any scientific proof. Some time ago, a doctor named Maxwell Maltz wrote about amputees who would be taking about 21 days to get used to having their limbs amputated. Now, this information went viral. It ended up being generalized to say that it takes 21 days to create a habit. Hence, the crazies you see on the internet with challenges of 21 days for this and 30 days for that, as if creating habits were some type of an exact science. 21 has become a magic number. But this deadline is nothing more than a myth without scientific proof. So let's see what the science says. In 2009, a survey recruited 96 participants to do the same activity daily in the same context for 12 weeks. For example, one participant chose to exercise daily right after breakfast, another chose to run 15 minutes after dinner, and so on. The purpose of the research was to find out how long it takes for people to create a habit. We could say that on average, participants took 66 days. But this average is a useless number since the time varied drastically from case to case. A simple habit like drinking a glass of water can take 18 days. Something more difficult like going to the gym for an hour can take more than 200 days. And when asking how long it takes to form a habit, nobody wants to hear the answer. Creating habits can take forever. A habit is only formed when you practice the habit. Not a day more, not a day less. When people research how long it takes to create a habit, they are looking for a shortcut. It is as if they had this type of a thought process, you see, like, I'm going to push myself to do exercise for 21 days. It's going to be hard, but after 21 days, it's going to become so automatic that my life is going to be easy. I won't even have to try anymore. And in practice, this is not what happens. You force yourself to do that action for 21 days, 30 days, even 66 days, and you have to keep pushing. A habit only lasts as long as you practice the habit. It seems obvious, but many people forget about that. It doesn't matter if you've exercised the last 365 days. If you stop today, if you don't exercise anymore, you just break the habit. If you have to keep repeating the habit, does it really matter how long it takes to create that habit? Setting a deadline only serves to create some unrealistic expectation. This can even play against your goals. If you miss a day, you could end up frustrated and give up. Don't judge yourself for not mastering a new habit in just a few weeks. Instead of looking for magic numbers, just think about the long term. Habits are a process, not an event. Make a commitment to yourself to form smart habits that help you to achieve your goals. Whether it takes 21 days or 200, doesn't matter. Habit is ongoing attitude that will transform you into the person that you want to be. The good news about the time it takes to form a habit, it gets easier every day. Try to remember the first time you did something. Maybe the first time you rode a bike or you used some specific software. You were learning. So the first time you attempt something, everything is difficult. Now the second time gets a little easier, the third even easier, until one day there is no more perceived difficulty in doing that activity. With habits, something very similar happens. There is no magic number of days to turn a difficult habit into an easy one. Evolution can be slow when comparing one day to the next, but in the long run, there is a big difference. The difficulty of practicing the habit on the first day was going to be much greater compared to the difficulty, 100 days later. Now, the difficulty drops when you no longer have so much resistance to practice the habit. For example, at first you forced yourself to go to the gym, and now it is a natural part of your routine. This doesn't mean that the habit is formed forever. If you stop going for a while, you will form the new habit of not going to the gym. Your brain will always prefer the path of least resistance. Every time you make or stop making a habit, you're creating a neural pathway in your brain. The more paved this path is, the more likely you are to walk that path. Your habits can help you or hinder you. Actually, practicing the habit is much more important than simply thinking about how long it's going to take you to create that habit. The story that it takes 21 days to form a habit is a myth. It can take much longer than that. Now, the truth is that time doesn't matter. Ultimately, you're going to have to keep practicing the habit so it doesn't go away. Your focus should be on practicing the habit today. Forget the future. Practice the habit today and you'll be well on your way to forming the habit. Of course, it's not that simple. And to help you, I prepared a summary of a book on how to change and create habits. And you can download that summary right now going to arata.se/ebook habits.